Welcome to a whole new video series where we forecast future updates by deep diving into ZZZ lore that you probably missed. No worries though, because you're in the right place. This video will catch you up, dive you into hidden lore and much more. Because today we're breaking down everything we know about Astra Yao, the enigmatic figure connected to music, fame and some pretty major drama in New Eridu. We'll also explore her possible role in upcoming patches, and of course, the virtual idols, who did you know are all named after Archangels. Yeah, you probably didn't realize this. There's more secrets too, but don't worry, I've got it all covered here and much more. Let's make this really exciting and start a little with the virtual idols before diving into Astra's lore. So about the virtual idols being named after Archangels, it's true. I discovered this a few months ago, and the names Remiel, Sario and Johiel are all Archangel names. And what's interesting is that they originate from various traditions within angelology, which makes their roles vary a lot between them, but this is what they're known to stand for in general. The Archangel Remiel means Thunder God or Mercy God in Hebrew, which I think we could associate easily with the electric attribute in Zenless Zone Zero. What's also interesting is this Archangel is often described as compassionate and encouraging. Now, just by looking at Shinatsu Remiel, we could say that she's going to be a support agent, and the word encouraging kind of points us in that direction. So there's a few things to remember here. Thunder God and encouraging, which we can sort of relay with in the world of Zenless Zone Zero through the electric attribute and the support role, which I think would only make sense. Now, for our next Archangel, Sario. Sario is mentioned in the Book of Enoch as one of the holy archangels responsible for overseeing spirits and guiding the dead. As for the traits, known for wisdom, fairness, and guidance. So Sario serves also, they say, as a mediator between the divine and earthly realm. So what does this mean for Rokudo Sario? Well, as we can see on the leaks, Rokudo Sario is actually the only angel in that faction that is embodied in a body, but still holding a halo above her head. So she's part of the physical realm, but she clearly has a floating halo, which makes her an angel. But if we look at Shinatsu Remiel, we can see that her halo is actually just a hair tie. So even Sario's archangel description has some form of truth behind it, since it says that she is the archangel that serves as a mediator between the divine and earthly realms. And for our last little virtual idol, my absolute favorite, Yutane Johiel. Johiel translates to praise of God or glory of God, and is recognized in Christian traditions as the angel who inspires diligence and hard work, particularly in performing good deeds. Now, what's crazy is that recently, which we will get to in a few moments, is we had an event called the Battlefield Mayhem that was led by a bangbu called Snap. Now, Yutane was definitely in the conversations of this event, and I'll show you why later. And the reason I'm saying that she was included in this event in the form of dialogue is because we were pointed to her many times through the words intelligent construct, which is a term they use in ZZZ to refer to a robot, such as Quingy or Billy. And I'll get to the rest of this a bit later, but you're going to immediately see the connection with the Archangel's description being good deeds and hard work. But hey, I think that this is an interesting touch from Johiel, which could probably leave us to believe that there are more idol angels out there in the Zenless Zone Zero universe, because there are another 4 main archangels in angelology. But we'll circle back to the virtual idols just a bit later, because there's a lot to dive into there. So let's move on to Astra for a bit before we do. So when did Astra Yao first make an appearance? Well, that was actually back in September when the internet buzzed about her new live album, and fast forward to 1.3, her presence now is everywhere. From ads at the music store to posters at the cinema, like Astra's image is dominating the entire Lumina Square. So it does feel like the devs are building her up as a key figure in the Zenless universe. Now, whether that's as a playable character or as part of a major narrative arc, that's still to be seen. But we do have some information already about what to expect thanks to recent events and some lore. For me, the music store ad is particularly intriguing. Like, it doesn't just scream superstar, it ties her directly to the music industry. Possibly as a superstar, but maybe a producer, or even perhaps an idol, or someone behind the scenes pulling the strings. Either way, her involvement seems pivotal. So we know movies, music and fame are the core of Astra Yao's character, and what we know for sure right now is that her design and sheer volume of her advertisement in patch 1.3 says that she has a strong connection to the entertainment industry. Now, could she be a powerhouse superstar leading the charge for a new faction? Or is she tied to the virtual idols that we've been hearing so much about? Well, let's talk about that. To me, the virtual idols seem like an obvious parallel or possible rival to Astra. Whether they're allies, competitors, or even enemies, the dynamics between these factions could explore the tension, like collaboration and drama in the music world, which I don't think this is something that devs would want to miss out on. And I'll explain why just in a moment. Before we do talk about that, we should talk about patches. 1.5 and 1.6 are most likely to be set in spotlight for the music industry. So Astra's timing to be teased now is perfect. So there's a strong chance she could debut as a playable character, possibly alongside her rumored bodyguard, Evelyn. And if this happens, they might form a new faction mirroring the Sons of Caladan's origin layout that had only Lucy and Piper to begin with, or Zuyan and Quingy, for example. Like, just imagine a two-person team squaring off against the virtual idols. That rivalry could bring a lot of depth and intrigue to the story, in my opinion. And in this image, the idols might be drawn to the computer screen this intensely because Astra perhaps interacted with one of their social media posts. And I think it could be really cute if the virtual idols have some kind of fixation with Astra as well. And on the other hand, Astra might stay just as an NPC who is there to laying the ground for the virtual idol faction to appear. Remember Pompey from 1.2? He was so well developed that everyone thought he'd be a playable character, but instead he anchored the main story for the Sons of Caladan. Now Astra could take a similar role, shaping the narrative while kind of remaining in the background though. But back to the virtual idols, let's talk about Yutane, the intelligent construct who made waves during the virtual Battlefield Mayhem event. Snap, the Bangbu leading that event, revealed that Yutane's consciousness was trapped in a VR game, a chilling result of a VR machine beta test funded by a corporation that we currently only know as TOPS, T-O-P-S, and we don't know much about at this stage. So we fought to free her in this event, and by the end, Snap, the Bangbu, told us she had been discharged and escaped the VR. So it seems like that thanks to our involvement, Yutane made a recovery. Now, whether that's going to link back to us in the future as a form of them helping us, as in the idol faction, is yet to be seen, but I think this will put us on good grounds with them. Now, speaking of Yutane, and I've pitched this to my community and discussed it thoroughly, I think that based on her art and appearances within leaks, Yutane might actually have two distinct personalities. On the surface, she's this timid, vulnerable robot, what they call an intelligent construct in their world, representing her faction maybe in a reserved and humble way, but hidden within her, there's this angel/idol that probably embodies incredible strength and dominance in battle. And frankly, this duality that I sense through her leaks from the very beginning absolutely fascinates me. It's almost like the robot side is intentionally weak and unassuming, designed to emphasize the stark contrast when the idol side takes over. Now, as we've seen in her design and leak, here it says in Mandarin transformation, which I'm so excited about because it's such a compelling idea. And I'll admit, I was sold on Yutane's design the moment her leaks dropped, and I've been saving up for her from the very beginning. She's by far my most anticipated character, and honestly my whole community knows that she's my long-awaited waifu, and the more I uncover about her, the more hype I get. Now let's dig into some corporate drama. Snap mentioned in the Battlefield Mayhem event that TOPS was developing a VR tech to sync humans with Bangbus, using it to help people live normal lives despite health issues. And during the event with Snap, there's a dialogue that heavily hints about TOPS developing a technology to synchronize oneself with a Bangbu and walk around freely. And even though they haven't been able to recreate the technology from Helios Academy, which our heroes use where they're able to keep a connection between the real world and the hollow world, they still seem to know that such technology has existed or exists. But what we learn from the Battlefield Mayhem event with Snaps is that TOPS' mishap left Yutane in a coma, and they've been scrambling to cover it up. Snap even hinted that Astra, or someone connected to her, might sever ties with TOPS because of their unethical practices. So could this be where Astra's story intersects with Yutane's? Well, hopefully we'll find out in 1.5. But where does this all leave us? Well, Astra Yao could be the next linchpin in the game's evolving narrative, and whether she becomes a playable character, or leads a new faction, or stays as a high-profile NPC, her story is packed with potential. I mean, the music industry theme feels like the perfect stage to hype up the community and push the story forward in a really exciting way. So I think this is something they're going to take advantage of now, since they've already put some things out there for us. And as for me, I mean, I'm most hyped about the virtual idols. Ever since their leaks, they've been my top priority. No matter which patch they drop on, I already know I'll be spending every single polychrome I've been saving since day one, and it's going to be worth it. So Astra Yao, Yutane, the virtual idols, top shady experiments. There's a lot to look forward to, and whether it's rivalries, faction drama, or corporate intrigue, the future of New Eridu is looking good, and maybe also a little chaotic. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. And what do you think? Will Astra Yao be a game changer or a twist we didn't see coming? Drop your theories in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more lore breakdowns. Until next time, keep exploring and take care.
またあったな。